Hello everyone, welcome to Death Meat Studio. This is 31 Days of Horror, where myself and Gareth, ting tang, walla walla bing bang, Gibson recommends a film for you to watch during Halloween. And we are on the actual day itself. It is Halloween, Gib. What is your pick to watch on Halloween?
Yeah, well, I've gone with one of my top number one horror movies, one of my absolute favourites. It is Stuart Gordon's Re-animator, H.P. Lovecraft's Re-animator.
I've not seen it, Gib.
You've never seen it?
No, never seen it. I know you're a massive fan of it, but I've never gotten around to watching it. And I'll be honest, all I can gather is corpses get reanimated.
It's pretty much, yeah. It's kind of a zombie, yeah. So it's kind of a zombie movie, but it's one of those films. All I could say it's a fucking crowd pleaser. It's just so rewatchable. It's so it draws the line with campiness, but just not too much. It doesn't go overboard with it, but it's got a great performance by Jeffrey Combs, who is one of my favourite actors, and again, a very underrated actor. He does choose some scenery in this film, which he wasn't really meant to be. I don't think he was really meant to be the sort of the hero of this film, or the anti-hero, but he was the thing that everyone came out of it kind of loving his character of Herbert West. It was basically, he's like a young kind of Frankenstein sort of character, with lots of ego and pompous to him, and basically has this serum which is very close to, he's still kind of in the testing stages of. And basically, it's this green serum that brings the dead back to life, but hasn't really sorted the kinks out yet. So when these characters come back to life, they're absolute, ravaged kind of zombies that are in absolute pain and just kind of want to destroy everything around them. So, but it still doesn't really stop him. The whole stuff. I mean, it's so well paced. It just starts off right into the madness and doesn't really let you off, to be honest, right till the end. And there's just so many parts of it where you just kind of sort of gleefully laugh at just the amounts of gore and guts and things flying around everywhere. And Jeffrey Combs gets some good quotable lines as well. I'd probably say I watch this movie maybe about 3 or 4 times a year. I probably already have this year. Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorites, and it's got some great sequels as well. It's Bride of Re-animator is an amazing sequel. I've always hoped that they'd maybe do another one day, or a TV series. There was always talks about it, but it never really materialised. And Stuart Gordon unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago. That's my top film to watch on Halloween, even above Halloween.
Well, you've sold me.
You should have already watched that by now anyway. So.
Yeah, you've sold me on it, Gib. That is another one on my list to watch from this series of videos. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember the film that really made me want to watch it was American Beauty. Funnily enough.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a scene in where it gets referenced. So basically, there's a scene where Kevin Spacey starts smoking weed again, and he's talking with the young lad that sells him it. And they're talking about Re-animator, and I think as a cover for the reason why he's gone round to go pick up his weed in front of his dad, he's like, "Oh yeah, I wanted to pick up that film that we were talking about, Re-animator." But yeah, they talk about this. There's a famous scene in it with a headless doctor. So basically, like the head of him's alive, but the body's still walking around, and yeah, it's so I was like, oh, I have to check that film out. And then obviously, when I was old enough to start buying DVDs, it was one of the first ones I picked.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
and I think I remember when I first watched it, I was just watching it with a big beaming grin, and I think I probably just turned it off and watched it, but put it back in, rewatched it again straight away the same night. So yeah,
what a glowing review. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out. It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's that's the only, as I say, that's the only thing I can say about it. It is a crowd pleaser.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I'm checked. That is firmly on the list. So for my pick, Gib, for on Halloween, I've gone with Neil Marshall's The Descent, because I think it's another one where I think it's pretty much a perfect film. It's well made, well cast. All the cast are fantastic in it. Creature design is brilliant. I mean, some of the visual effects are a bit ropey, but it's
very brief. But I know I think I know which scenes that you're talking about. Yeah,
but it's a low budget British horror film. So
it was very low budget, and that doesn't, for the most part of it, does not come across at all.
Yeah, it's ridiculously well made, well crafted. I think it's Neil Marshall's best film to date. I know he's done some ones that haven't been as well received, other than Descent and Dog Soldiers, but I do think The Descent is impeccable, and it's got a fantastic twist. If you're watching in the States, we got a better ending than you did. Soz not soz, and
we never got that sequel that that carried on from the American ending, unfortunately.
Yes. The sequel was it was a typical horror sequel, disappointing. But yeah, I liked the dynamic between the group of friends and how everyone's relationship with each other just completely fractured under the stress. And there's the whole is the main character having a mental breakdown, or is this really happening aspect, which is a really fun thing to discuss.
Because you can watch it and think that, but it doesn't need to tell you that either. You can come up with your own interpretation of that.
Exactly.
I mean, I personally don't. I would rather. I think that she ends up kind of going a bit batshit, but I think she just goes batshit during the last act of the film. To be honest, I'm in that train of thought as well, but I don't mind people who want to. It's fun. It is fun, and it's there's some weight to it, isn't it? When you watch it, like it's not totally implausible that could be the case, and that's what great films do. That's what great writing does. And whether Neil Marshall meant to do that or not, I don't know, but yeah. So. Yeah, it's. I mean, from the last like 20 years, it's probably one of the best horror movies that's been made up to this point. One I watch quite a lot.
Yeah, I remember going to pictures to see it with Matt Owen, and it was a great experience for me because I jumped up and shit myself on quite a few occasions, and he really enjoyed it because he got to see me jump up and shit myself on a few occasions. So yeah, it's I've got very fond memories of the film, going to see it, and I'm very fond memories just because it's an awesome film. It's not even just a great horror movie, as I say. It's a great story. There's a lot of there's a very realistic sort of backstory to this group of girls. They're all real people, do you know what I mean, as well? Like, they're not just there set up to be killed. There's obviously, it's all kind of, it's not dwelled on too much. It's quite brief. Like, you see the accident that happens at the beginning and all that, but then how that's affected this, this dynamic of this group. Still a really stupid thing to do, though, to just send all your mates down an undiscovered
cave, like
oh Juno.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I mean, it's a little bit stupid that that someone would do that, but yeah. But it's so good. And the fact that they just filmed all of it in studio as well, you'd never know, would you? You'd think it would have been shot in a real cave, which would be kind of impossible to do.
Yeah. I mean, the how it manages to put across the claustrophobia of it all, the darkness, the isolation. It's really well made. I can't imagine anyone else but Neil Marshall doing that so well. It's a tour de force of the film. I absolutely adore it.
Yeah, I mean, it was really successful when it came out as well, which I was happy about. Critically, box office, it unfortunately got snapped up by America very quickly, and the ending changed, which even Americans know what's up. They know the proper ending.
Yeah.
I'm sure probably most fans probably ended up just importing it from the UK to get the proper ending. I'd like to think so anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't until later in the game till I realised that the US version has a different ending, and it was kind of like, oh, that's
it just doesn't make sense. Does not make sense. Yeah. No.
But yeah,
it's such a it is a very downbeat film, and it kind of deserved that ending. We didn't deserve this this ending with a bow on it.
No, definitely not. I mean, I like, for example, I didn't question it when I watched it for the first time. That ending makes sense. It's a harsh ending, but it suited the film. It was great. Yeah,
it is. It's just an all-around great film. As I say, near perfect. Maybe a couple of ropey visual effects. So you'd say maybe 5 seconds of that?
Yeah, it doesn't detract from the film in any way, shape, or form.
And they say the build up is great. So you're maybe like 45-50 minutes in until you see that amazing scene where it stood behind one of them, which just absolutely scared the shit out of me when I first saw it.
Yeah.
I jumped a few times when I first watched it in the cinema. I'd love to watch that. I'd love to watch that on the big screen again if it ever got like an anniversary screening or anything like that. Like I'd definitely love to experience that again.
Yeah, that'd be bang up for that. Right, Gib. Excellent. Thank you very much for this.
We've made it.
Yeah. Got to the last day. It's been magical. I've got several films on my watch list now. Thank you very much. And yeah, it's been, as ever, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk about films with you, never mind horror films.
Yeah, and hopefully we might have recommended some films to people that have maybe been unaware of them, but you should be watching horror films all the time anyway, not just October. But...
Damn straight. And if anyone's watching this would like to recommend any films to us or question why we left some films out, throw them in the comments section or contact us on social media and we will ignore you gleefully. But besides that, happy Halloween everyone, enjoy your films, watch some good stuff, and have a boss one.
Yep. See ya.
Adios.